The new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, build life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. Here's your host.
Hey, Grand Rising to you billionaires. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. The Money and Power Show here, presented to you by the New Black Wall Street. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator and CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. Queen Phyllis is in the house. Good morning to you. Hopefully you got our tag. We took a look at your site last night, so hopefully you get a chance to review that if you haven't already. We did review your site last night in the BBC, so just know we tagged you and everything. Go back and look at that when you get a chance. What's going on with your Queen Vivian is in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining us as well. As we talk about money, power, money into power, we talk about economics and politics. We also talk about same thing being cash flow and cash rules here on the Money and Power Show. We do have our presentation, our political piece from Dr. Claude Anderson. We will continue along in our journey into the richest man in Babylon. We'll take a look a little bit into the market as well, and I got a lot of stuff going on as well. I got a lot of stuff going on this morning, man, so I'm gonna try to get to it all here today on the Money and Power Show. I'm your host, ERGJ, certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. The book that I wrote, guys, is The Study of Black Wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if, by the way. But if you do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. You can pick up the book by simply going to the website www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, available in French and also English. You can pick up your copy today. You'll find that link in the description above or below. Today's episode is being brought to you by ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace which specializes in Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, and also Black art-inspired gifts. Here at ERGJ Black Bazaar, you can find quite a lot of cool stuff, home decor, bathroom stuff. Man, we got stuff for your travel. We got drones, man. Good ideas for some good ideas for some Father's Day gifts coming up as well. And we do also have some featured products that we do as well. Yeah, you want to continue to protect yourself, guys. Continue to wear your mask and things like that. And we'll start promoting some of our more exclusive things here at Black Bazaar as time moves forward. But here at BRGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace, we want you guys to remember this, that once you shop Black, you never go back. Man, check us out here at www.theblackbazaar.com, www.theblackbazaar.com. All right, beautiful people, man, that is our paying our homage to making our payments to our advertisers this morning. Grand Rising to you, man. See who's here, man. Hit the like button and share button if you care. Like button and share button if you care. This is free financial education for the nation. Free financial education for the nation. If you are your brother's keeper, you are your sister's keeper, go ahead and put that stuff out there so they can know that we are here this morning. Grand Rising to you, Queen Phyllis in the house, Queen Vivian, Queen Jennifer's joining us, also King Anthony's house, man. Hey, Anthony, we got to man. I don't know what to schedule. Did we schedule? I don't know if we scheduled some time or not, Anthony. Definitely love to bring you on for Black Man Monday, one Monday. If you're available, I don't know if that's a good day for you or not. If so, let me know a date, man. We definitely bring you on. Definitely want to have some conversations, the sooner the better, about some insurance. That might be a good conversation to have. A time like this. Queen Tiffany's in the house as well. Man, thanks so much, John. Let us know where you're connecting from, what city, what state, what country. We're broadcasting here across the World Wide Web, across Facebook and also YouTube, out of Decatur. That's right, Decatur, Georgia. Decatur, where it's greater. Love to know where you're connecting from as well. I know we got New York representing, Georgia, Dallas, Fort Worth, Detroit is representing right now as well. As we get into our political piece, guys, so we'll go through what Dr. Claude Anderson has written in the Black History Reader. Then we will take a look at the market just a little bit. I did find something that was very interesting to me this morning. as I put some things out to our community in the Black Billionaires Club. But this is also Black Woman Wednesday. Yeah. Oh, it's quite a few things going on this morning. Oh Lord, it's Wednesday. Dang. Well, so we're supposed to do our 52-week savings challenge today, guys. I forgot about that. Oh Lord, it's a lot to do this morning. Okay, wait a second. So I ain't got my little money on me right now. This will be week what, 23? All right, so I'm gonna have to do this off camera because I don't have my money on me. 23. It's in the other room. I ain't finna go get it. This week 23. Oh my God. Okay, so it's 50-week savings challenge. So this is week 23. I'm gonna do this off camera. But basically supposed to put $23 into your savings account today. $23. Now, I'm going to do that off camera, but I do have my savings jar here for my $23. And so let's see here. Let me do my little math because that should put us at that should put us at 276. I told 276 here today. So if you've been doing this challenge throughout the whole year, this will represent week 23 of the year. $23 into your savings account, savings jar. That will represent $276 total that you have saved, that we have saved individually for the savings challenge. So I'll do this off camera, but just know that I'm going to get it done, and hopefully you do too as we continue along with the savings challenge. Here for our Black Money and Power show. And it's the understanding that if you save now, then later your money can save you. It can help get you out of some sticky situations. That money is power in America. So having it and having some of it available, not only just for rainy days, but for opportunities as well, can put you into a great position. And some of the stuff that we'll read today, The Richest Man in Babylon, he talks about saving, paying yourself first. And so this is just the practice of doing just that. But this is Black Woman Wednesday as well. So we want to pay homage to our Black women that are out there. On Black Woman Wednesday, we just show our love and appreciation for the Black woman, the goddess herself, and all that we do. So we do want to let you know here today, Black woman, that that you are very, very vital to our community, important, that you matter, that you're not overlooked. Although we have, times like this, we see not only just, we see the whole Black family being attacked, but you are the strength. You're the rock of the family. And we just want you to know here today on the Money and Power so that you are loved, appreciated, adored. We understand we don't all make the best decisions all the time, but your life is important. So continue to show up, continue to show out, continue to do what you do, continue to be looking glorious and just scrumptious and delicious. We love that too. I mean, because ain't nothing like a Black woman. Ain't nothing like a Black woman. But we're going to just go ahead and make sure we give you this cyber hug here today. Hope that you feel it from the heart here on Black Woman Wednesday. And for everybody else that's here, man, show your love and appreciation, your words of adoration, your words of encouragement, your words of praise for the Black woman in the comments below. And we'll get that as well. But this is Black Woman Wednesday. So thanks so much, Black women. That's so much. Thanks so much, Black women. Great rising to you. BBC is in the house, man. Good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining. We got Sydney is in the house, man. Good morning to you. A.V. man. What's going on out of Toledo, Ohio? Miss Melanie Peters out of Miami. Grand rising to you. Good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining. 276. Grand rising to you. Brian Scott, I believe you got a doubt. I believe you're in DFW too or Indiana. I don't know where you're at now. You just move around so much, Ryan Scott. But as we get into our political piece this morning, again, the power piece of the show. The power piece of the show. It's right now is coming from Dr. Claude Anderson, who wrote a book called The Black History Reader, which is the subtitle is 101 Questions That You Never Thought to Ask. And this is it's just so interesting how we get to these spaces at such a time as this, because we're into question number 14. Question number 20. And the question is, what nuclear option did the 14th Amendment grant Black voters? And so just yesterday was the beginning of the primary elections in some states. And we saw some states have some attendance that came out to vote. That's great. We saw that in the land. So that's absolutely phenomenal as well. But what nuclear option did the 14th Amendment grant Black voters? And of course, as we read this, we probably have some pineapple moments as we learn some things from Dr. Claude Anderson, one of the great minds of our day, Black man who continues to push the envelope to educate us through his literature and through his actions as well. That's what I'm talking about, man. Thank you to the Black woman is God. Absolutely, man. Thank you, glorious, scrumptious, and delicious, the Black woman. Scrumptious and delicious. Question number 20. What nuclear option did the 14th Amendment grant Black voters? Money and Power Show, political piece, a Black history reader. Let's read. So believe it or not, Black Americans are the only citizens for whom the U.S. Congress enacted specific laws that assure Black citizens could vote and impose punishments on states if those voting rights were interfered with or abridged. The 14th Amendment provides safeguards to Black voting rights. Section 2 of the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution says, when the right to vote at any election for the choice of electors for president or vice president of the United States, representatives in Congress, the executives and judicial officials of a state, or the members of the legislature thereof, is denied to any of the Black male inhabitants of such state, being 21 years of age and citizens of the United States, or in any way are abridged, the basis of representation therein shall be reduced in the proportion which the number of such male citizens shall bear to the whole number of male citizens 21 years of age in such state. This provision means that a state in which there were efforts to suppress the Black vote would lose elected representation in national, state, and local elections. Black voters have been intimidated, harassed, denied the right, and even killed to prevent them from voting. They have marched, protested, and filed lawsuits, but in over a century, this provision has never been used, and no state has ever suffered any consequences. I'll call this provision of the 14th Amendment a nuclear option because while it would require a complex mathematical formula to implement, it would provide such a powerful punishment tool that once used, voter suppression would stop. Blacks are this nation's only planned minority. Whites outnumber Black voters 9-1. No other population group has been continuously harassed and denied voting rights. Free white male citizens over 21 years of age have always had the right to vote, so have white female property owners. Even white females who did not own property were allowed to vote with the enactment of the 19th Amendment in 1919, which, by the way, did not grant the same unfettered voting rights to Black female voters. Section 2 of the 14th Amendment should have been a tool to prevent the actions of white conservatives or extra-legal groups such as the Ku Klux Klan who sought to deny the Black vote regardless of gender. The haunting question then is, why hasn't this option ever been used? Did Blacks not know about this provision? Did they know about it yet choose not to invoke it because they feared repercussions from whites? Do conservative whites know about this provision? If so, why would they risk the consequences of losing elected representation? For 150 years, conservative whites have employed intense efforts to suppress Black votes. When Blacks are a planned minority or make up only 12% of the population, why do whites continue their efforts? If every Black man, woman, and child could vote, which is not even possible, the maximum voting impact of the group would not exceed 12%. Do conservative political forces engage in various superficial voter suppression schemes simply to deflect the attention of Blacks away from substantive issues such as the Constitution's social construct on race or the historical maldistribution of nearly 100% of this nation's resources away from Blacks? Blacks have put aggressive effort into voting activities, registration, getting out the vote, enthusiastically supporting candidates who promises them nothing, but they have never exercised this nuclear option of the 14th Amendment to secure their right to vote. Black voters should replace marching, and praying, and begging for the right to vote with understanding, planning, and using Section 2 of the 14th Amendment. Understanding, planning, and using. If Blacks could get the nation's attention by using the nuclear option, they could then redirect their own focus from voting to more fundamental issues of economics and demand corrections. Those demands could include reform to immigration policies to reduce the harm it causes to Native Blacks, industrialization of Black urban cities, building functional schools for Blacks, enforcing the 1866 Indian treaties, and providing reparations in some form. The nuclear option in voting could be used as leverage to correct other structural issues as well. Pineapples. Yeah, I didn't know anything about that. Again, politics is not my thing, but as I always say, man, that if you find a problem, you dive into it. So I guess I'm going into learning more about politics until I find somebody else. I'm learning a whole lot just reading this book. I can tell you that. Oh my goodness, man. What nuclear option? So this option is section 2 of this 14th Amendment. Never been used. 150 years, but it's there. Okay. That's what I'm talking about, man. All right, man. The worst, diverse, most soulful, elegant, strong divas love you and love to be one of the black women. Now, so a whole bunch of pineapples going off in this section tonight. I tell you, man, we're going to learn today. That's right, man. Money and power. So that was our political piece or our power piece as we begin to understand more and more about what really kind of makes a difference in society, in the society in which we live, money and the power, right? Economics and politics, cash flow, cash rules, right? Money is power, but the power itself is written all throughout the Constitution, all throughout laws that are enacted, amended, and all that stuff, a whole bunch of stuff that we just don't know. At the end of the day, just a whole bunch of stuff that we simply don't know. All right, guys. So thanks so much for paying homage to Dr. Claude Anderson, again, one of the great minds of our day. Brother's still alive, still writing literature, still putting information out there. It can be found. We just need to look for it, and we do find it. I did want to take a look here, see what's going on in Wall Street. As you guys, as I said yesterday, money has no conscience. So although there's still some things going on, that's taking place in the economy. We'll take a look here at some news that you can use here tonight. And then also today, and then tonight, for those that don't know, here on Black Woman Wednesday, we do have a special presentation for the Black Billionaires Club. We do have a BBC member who will be joining us tonight for our presentation, as we also look at have investment education night tonight. But she'll be presenting some of her handmade soap and some things that we could do with her. But for the BBC members, I do want to point out this thing that stands out really, really quickly for me, because I did make a pitch to you guys about some stuff, and I don't think that we really see or understand some of the things that are going on. So right here, we have this article that says the new toilet paper, bikes are flying off shelves in overwhelming shops. So in this, around the country, as cabin fever kind of ends, more people are saying, obviously there's probably some things that happen as far as your health is concerned, weight gain, things like that during the shelter in place. And then now people are saying, man, we're going to get out and get active. And so one of those activities is riding bikes. And so with people riding bikes more, being more active, there are things that are associated, or equipment that's associated with bikers. And so I presented some, obviously some masks that I thought we may want to take a look at that gives bikers some protection against the wind. And I think our mind just went to fashion. Our mind just went to what Black folk might use or might want versus, getting to a place where it's something that many people may have an interest in. And I want us to understand this as we fight the good fight. One of the major fights is economics, and what other groups do is they come into our community and they offer things that our community wants, chicken, chicken, liquor, things like this that we value as a community. It just is what it is. And then they extract the money from our community, and then they go back to where they live, and then that's where they spend that money. So it's a tactic, right? Everybody putting a console strategy. It's just a simple economic strategy that you and I, those that are interested in the economic space, can actually implement as well if we find out what they value and what they want. And then we go and do the same thing. We go into their community, whether that be physically or virtually, and we extract their dollars and we bring it back to our community. And then that's where we spend. And this is where we begin
to practice group economics. This is where we begin to have our dollars circulating with each other. This is where we begin to have small black businesses become big black businesses because we're spending money with those businesses. We're bringing the money from other communities, and we're doing that. It's called strategy. So sometimes we have to take our mind beyond our own community, which can be difficult to do if you're wrapped up in your community, and begin to study people at large. And this will be not just black people, white people, Chinese people, Mexican people, right, red, yellow, green, whatever. You study those as well because they have buying habits also. It's not just, blacks aren't the only people that got spending power, by the way. It might be the only group that we talk about their spending power, but there's spending power for every group. And so if you and I want to be smart and wise, and we want to begin to level the playing field, well, then we must study them just as much as they study us. Let me say that again for the people in the back. If you and I want to be wise and smart and strategic as it relates to the economy, as it relates to the money flow, then we must study them just as much as they study us. You see, we know us, but then also they know us. They know them, but we don't know them. So the focus is always on our spending power when they have spending power as well. So when I brought this to our attention, I was saying to myself, I wasn't thinking about just black folk. I was thinking, wait a second, we might be able to get some of their white folk money. That's what I was thinking. I'm just saying. That's what I was thinking. I was like, they buying, cause who buying all these bikes? So anyway, let's take a look at this article real quick. Again, we got the Zoom boom. I think is that still booming? It's still a very, very popular application. I think that's worth to look at as well. We got 169% increase in this revenue that's taking place. But man, I thought this was very interesting. Bikes are flying out. I said, "Oh my good," because when my vendor hit me up, I was like, "Bikes." I wasn't thinking. I was like, because I ain't been to the park. I don't go to the park, nothing like that. But it says as unemployment reaches record levels and small businesses scramble to survive, bike shops have been an exception. Bike shops, of all things, bike shops. They're thriving where they're in car-dominated cities like Houston and Los Angeles, and more traditional biking areas like Portland, Oregon, New York, Washington, D.C. Keeping enough bikes in stock and finishing repairs as the time demand has become challenging. Customers are being turned away in some cases. So this makes sense, right? Because the world just turns and repeats itself. We see, in some major cities, we see the little rental scooters and stuff like that. People are kind of moving a little bit away from cars because it's just overpopulated with cars. They're doing the whole, Uber, Lyft, rideshare thing. And they're getting in the cities. They're taking a little money, getting a little scooter and going wherever they need to go throughout the city, paying for that. But when you have a bike, you pay one time and you can ride that thing all the time wherever you're gonna go. Especially if you're in just in the city, you just want to go to work and come home. You ain't that far away. Why not ride a bike, get some exercise, same as well? But look at this. It's so much I see in this article because it tells me, okay, if I were to get these, this equipment that would be accessories to the bike, riding thing, then I could then say, okay, well, here are some cities that I could do some target marketing. Houston, Los Angeles, Portland, Oregon, New York, and Washington, D.C. It tells me where to send my advertising, my marketing to, if I'm going to pay for marketing of said product as well. And that's strategy. I'm like, this is just, I'm like, oh, this is easy. Oh, this is easy. So maybe we'll look at that again in the BBC because many of you guys didn't get it. And I was like, well, I ain't going to do this all by myself, but maybe we'll review it again tonight when we talk a little bit about strategy. Oh, so some of you guys, you come to me as a business consultant, you say, I don't know how to pitch, or I don't know what I'm doing as far as marketing is concerned. I'll tell you some secrets. Here's what I do. I can't, secrets about what I do, not what you should do. But here's what I do. I'll tell you, one thing I do. I sell stuff that people want to buy. That's what I focus on. I am not like, my heart is not tied to anything that I sell. I sell stuff that people want to buy. That's it. I say, okay, COVID-19 came. People going to need some masks. People want to buy some masks. I'm going to sell some masks. Just that simple for me. It had nothing to do with, did I want to sell masks? No, I wanted to get rich. I wanted to make some money. Did I care about the? I mean, I wanted to make sure I had good quality masks and all that stuff. Yes. But did I go into this year saying I don't want to sell some masks? No, I didn't. I saw that this was a need and I filled the need. And now we have another thing, another whatever trend that's happening, and something going on with this whole bike. I'm not a bike. Anybody a biker here, by the way? Is there any bikers here? Because if there are, if you are a biker, you ride a bike, or you even a motorcycle, or even if it's not a bike or motorcycle, then now you have these like the spider-looking thing cars that's kind of open, that air is coming in, right? Y'all know what I'm talking. I don't know what they call. Any of y'all guys ride any of that stuff, right? Because if you do, you know that when you get going, that wind is hitting you in the face. That's what I was like. That's what it's about. It's about whether you're on a skateboard, whether you ride bikes, whether you're on a motorcycle, whether you get on a roller coaster, right? No. Not that you own a bike. I mean, not that you, not that you own a bike. Are you a biker? Do you ride the bike often? That's it. Just because you own it and it's in the garage and it's in the basement, you done owned it for 20 some odd years, that does not make you a biker. That makes you an owner of the bike. Do you ride the thing? You know, they got bike clubs and all this stuff as well. And I'm pretty sure you ride the thing, girl. You be getting on that thing. Yeah. You ride your bike like Debo. So now I don't know. I think this could be a thing. I don't know. I mean, if they're flying off the shelves, what I do know is that they need accessories. So what are some accessories in the comments below? Name one accessory that you think would be valuable to someone who rides a bike. This is how I make money. I think like this. Oh, well, shit, everybody buying bikes. Okay, what they gonna need? Because I ain't gonna sell the bike. That's one thing I'm not gonna sell. I'm not gonna sell the bike. I'll let Walmart or whoever else, I'll let them sell the bike. But I do know when you buy that bike, you're probably gonna want to buy some other stuff, the accessories. This is why even in the industry, anywhere you have phones, you have some people that sell the phones, the phone stores and all that stuff. But the money, the real money, is in the accessories. Everybody put the comments on the accessories. The real money is in accessories. Here's why. Because the bike itself is pretty expensive to make. And there's not a whole bunch of margin. There's probably a lot of competition. So you can't really, if it takes you, let's just say $40 or $30 to make the bike, if that's what it is, and you probably wouldn't be able to sell that bike for $150. You know what I'm saying? You know, to be competitive, you probably got to get to 99, 89, 99, something like that. But the accessories, look at that, fanny packs. Look at that. Fanny pack, mask, and a face shield, helmet, right? Accessories. The money is in the accessories. Gloves and earbuds, wireless iPod. I got some buds. Oh, we might make a little biking thing. Yeah, look at gloves to ride that bike. Pads. The money is in the accessories. Because here's the wonderful thing about accessories. The bike lasts longer than the accessories will. So once the accessory begins to malfunction, they go buy another accessory. Just like a charger, right? You got your charger for your phone, right? And how many chargers have you bought in your lifetime? Whether you lost the charger, whether somebody stole the charger, whether the dog bit the charger, whether the charger just stopped functioning, whatever. How many chargers have you bought? You might still have the same phone, but you bought how many chargers? Why am I teaching y'all about business tonight? And we're gonna wait on Thursday. How am I supposed to do this? That's for the BBC. I don't know why I'm giving this stuff away free. Anyway, I just get into it. That's all it is. Right? Reflectors, right? These are things. These are things. So if this is a thing where whoever it is just going and buying bikes like crazy, well, that means there's a huge market for those who sell the accessories for that particular industry, right? Water bottles. Now ask yourself this, right? All of our BBC members, all of our e-commerce store people, right, that we've helped to get you started? Are you selling any of this stuff? And if you are, I just told you where you can market it. It just told us where you can market it. Here's some places that they need that stuff. Houston, Los Angeles, Portland, Oregon, New York, Washington, D.C. 6 places to get you started. Pineapples. All right. So anyway, we'll continue. We'll continue this tonight. We'll continue this discussion tonight for the Black Billionaires Club, okay? We'll continue this discussion tonight. For everybody else, y'all just got some free game, okay? Y'all just got some free game. So if they look at, they got a National Bicycle Dealers Association found that 83% of shops are concerned about their inventory levels. Bike manufacturers are struggling to keep up. And I heard about, I was, I got word on this, 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago? This might be something to look into. Anyway, we'll dive into that a little bit later. All right, guys. So here's what's going on in the market. The market was up again yesterday. I got another $100 from my account. Look at that, up 1% in the Dow, up half a point in the Nasdaq, up 3/4 of a point in the S&P 500. You had Western Union was up 11% yesterday. Wow, Tiffany and all the anyway, they down. We look at this retail trade. We have some businesses or sectors that have started to make their way back up to recover from what has happened. Oil has been recovering at $36 now. Gasoline is starting to go up in price. Now people are going to start driving more. They're going to start capitalizing off that money. Y'all going to see the price of gas go up. Now that demand is actually starting to increase. I mean, you go to the gas station, it's always full now, right? It's summertime. Look at this, the index of 58. So it's just been creeping up, more money. The protests ain't stopped. Ain't stopped this thing. The shooting ain't stopped nothing. The riots ain't stopped this. Wall Street does not care. I'm trying to tell y'all, there is the stuff that's behind the scenes. We are just financially speaking, we just don't know. We just don't get it. But anyway, more money is coming into the market. More, the economy is opening up. More businesses are going back into business. More businesses are open and ready to get money from the people, the consumers. At the end of all of that, at the end of the day, okay. At the end of the day, people still got to eat, right? They still got to go home. They still go to the stores. They might ride. They might protest at night, but they buying stuff in the day. Okay. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Look at that, man. Custom water bottles. Right? Look at that, man. Oh, my goodness. Helmet. And oh, my goodness. It's so much. Right? Now, let's just say we get in the water bottle. Oh, my God. Okay. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait. Y'all ain't going to get me. So tonight, in the Black Billionaires Club, if you ain't part of the Black Billionaires Club, oh, well. But for those in BBC, we're going to talk about this tonight. Yeah, we're going to talk about this. The biking industry, after as we tackle some of this investing in the biking industry, we'll tackle that tonight. I think this is worth the conversation. What do you guys think? If you're in the BBC or you're a BBC member, what do you guys think? You think it's worth the conversation? I mean, because I'll be trying to infiltrate. It's called like territory takeover. I'll be trying to infiltrate segments that I know nothing about, but we can do some research on it. We can get to know about it, and we can get some of that money. Right, we go into their areas, we go into what they like and what they value, and we provide products and services in that area, and we get their money, and we bring it back to our community, and we spend in our community. That is an economic strategy that we can implement and employ to save our own community, getting their money. Yeah, summertime. All right, man, we're going to get into this thing because I'm not going to run out of time today. Okay, we're not going to run out of time today. I wonder how your portfolios are looking, by the way. It's Wednesday. Man, so much. Oh, man, God, it's so much. So much to do, so little time. Right? How your portfolios looking? Hopefully they're looking well. I'm going to take a look at mine in just a second, a little bit, but I'm ready to rock and roll, man. Always ready to rock and roll. Absolutely. Said 4 million people are out of work. Yeah, that's fine. It ain't gonna stop the economy. All right, so we're gonna get to the richest man in Babylon. Richest man in Babylon, as we continue our journey into the richest man of Babylon. We're going through the section that's called the 7 cures for a lean purse. The 7 cures for a lean purse. So we have a man named Arcad, who is the richest man in Babylon. And in case you need a book, by the way, if you want to get a book, I do sell the books. And the books, you can find them on the Black Billionaires Club, the website. I think I got maybe 7 copies left. But this book is near and dear to my heart because it helped me to go from being a financial zero to a financial hero. And as we continue to go through these principles that are laid out in this book, the 7 cures for a lean purse really helps us to understand why we can follow a process and get good results as it relates to our money. And so Arcad, the richest man of Babylon, he was called by the king or the president at the time to come and teach the people how to build wealth. And he brought in 100 men from the land, and they were in the temple of learning because you got to learn how to earn. You got to learn first, and then you can earn. They were in the temple of learning, and he questioned all the men and found that all the men were broke, busted, and disgusted. And he said, well, you guys all have different incomes or have a different salaries, but you're all in the same position. So it's not about how much you make, right? It's not about how much you make. That's the point that he was making. But then he went to some principles. He said, man, here's step 1. All right, here's the first thing I want you guys to do if you want to be rich. If you want to fix this problem, you want to fix the money problem. Everybody put a console, fix the money problem. If you want to fix the money problem. The first thing is you got to learn how you got to discipline yourself and spend no more than 90% of your income. You want to pay yourself first. 10% of everything a part of all you earn is yours to keep. And he recommends 10%. Pay yourself first. 10%. Live off the rest. So your lifestyle, discipline your lifestyle to reflect your income. Dave Ramsey say, act your wage. Act your wage. If it doesn't fit within the 90%, you must quit. That's his first thing. Say, man, pay yourself first. 10% of all you earn is yours to keep. Pay yourself first, no matter your situation. Then he said, okay, well, once you've disciplined yourself, then we want to take a look at your expenses because you need to learn how to control your expenses. So now we're talking about discipline, and a part of discipline would be self-control. Understanding that everything that you want, you can't afford, that your eyes are bigger than your wallet, and that you must learn how to say no to yourself. You got to learn how to say no to yourself. That's very hard to do for some people because we have this sense of entitlement that I deserve something even if I can't afford it. So therefore, I'm going to go get it, and I worry about paying for it later. That's what they call credit. Now, here in today's land, there's a big deal for people. Credit, credit, credit. Fix your credit, prepare your credit. But I say that might be all well and dandy. But most people are only fixing their credit so they can go borrow more money, so they go further into debt. It makes no sense to me, especially not reading things like, owe no man nothing but love that comes out of the Bible, especially understanding what comes with owing people, especially when we hear something like you shall lend to many nations and you shall not borrow. When I hear things like that, it says don't be the person that lives your life in debt. But this is the minority. Okay? Why? Because we live in a land in America. If you live in America, we understand that our land is built off of owing someone. What is it now? $22 trillion in debt. The country is in debt, $22 trillion, and it never goes down. It always goes up. I think there's only one president out of 45 presidents, and some of them served 2 terms. Only one has ever reduced the deficit, I believe. So we live in a land that debt is advertised. We live in a land that even the people who run the country supposedly have not been. We call it wealthy, but it's really not wealthy. It's really not. It's a facade. It's a illusion, right? We call it wealth because we got military power. But it really isn't, and you're free in this free enterprise. But if you really look at it, you say $22 trillion in debt, that don't sound like wealth to me. Doesn't. And we go other places to steal their resources. Doesn't sound like wealth to me. But anyway, I digress. So the second cure was to discipline yourself, was to self-control, was to budget your expenses, budget your life, so that you don't spend over 90%. The third cure that we're in now, the third cure for a lean person, the third cure to fix the money problem was to learn how to make your money multiply. Everybody putting console multiply. What's multiply? Now notice first you got to do step 1 and step 2, because step 1 and step 2 put you in a position to have money or discretionary income that you can then use to employ. Employ means go to work for you to multiply and bring back more money into your storehouse. There's also why in the Bible you'll find it say, hey man, your storehouse shall be filled, it'll be running over. Stuff like that. Your storehouse, your vaults, your bank account. So now he's talking to him about this, learning how to multiply. He shares a little story about his first wise investment, right, that he talked about. And we'll catch up where we were yesterday before we get a chance to hopefully finish. Well, we'll finish this today. We got 15 minutes. I got time. I want to come back though where he said, man, I tell you, my students. So he's talking to the student. I tell you, my students, a man's wealth is not in the coins he carries in his purse. It's not in your savings account. It's not in what you hold. It's in the income he builds. It's in the golden stream that continue flows into his wallet and keep his wallet always bulging or always getting fatter. So it's these consistent streams of income that you create that are continually flowing in. In other words, you have more income than you have outgo. You have more coming in than you have going out. Think about that for a second. How many guys will say, man, I'm in a position now in life. I've been living here long enough. I've been learning a little bit. I'm now in a position where I have more money coming in than I have going out. I got more money coming in than I have going. I just really want you to think about that for a second. To get in a position in your life where you have more coming in than you have going out. It's not just saying that you are just over broke, right? Where you got a job, you make enough money to take care of your bills, but you truly have more coming in than you have going out. You don't have to delay something because you didn't have enough or you spent too much. You got more coming in than you got going out. That puts you into a place of equity. That puts you into a place what we call in the black, right? Black equals wealth as it relates to money. In the black, more coming in than you got going out. In the red, more going out than you got coming in. Positive versus negative. Positive versus negative. So he says, man, that is what every man desires. Is it not what every man or woman desires? That is what each of you desire. An income that continues to come in, whether you go to work or whether you travel. So great income have I acquired, so great that I'm called a very rich man. My loans to Agar were my first training in profitable investment. Everybody put in console training. This is what we do in the Black Billionaires Club. Training. This is what we do. Development. This is what we do. Learn. That's pretty much what the BBC is. It's the temple of learning. Very first training in profitable investment. Gaining wisdom from this experience, I extended my loans and investments as my capital increased. I just kept doing what I had learned to do. From a few sources at first, from many sources later, flowed into my purse, flowed into my bank account, flowed into my wallet, a golden stream of wealth available for such wise uses as I should decide. Behold, from my humble earnings, I have begotten a horde of golden slaves, each laboring and earning more gold. I have some money slaves. Everybody putting the comments on my money is my slave. from my humble earnings. This is what he's saying, man, I started small. I didn't have a whole lot. I started just where you are. I had one source of income and I grew that to 2. I grew that to 3. I grew that to 4. I just kept growing my sources of income. So I had multiple streams that were flowing, and my money became my slave, and my slave went out to work for me, and it brought back more money. My money is a slave. As they labor for me, so their children also labored, and their children's children. And so great was the income from their combined efforts. My dollars, my quarters, my dimes, my nickels, they all went out and they brought money back into my storehouse. They worked individually, but their efforts were combined. My money is my slave. It's not my master. See, when you get to you can master money, but when money is your master, you're always chasing after it. You're always changing. You're shifting from to and fro. You're jumping from one opportunity to the next. You never get settled because you're chasing. One thing that we teach: you don't chase money. You attract it by becoming a more attractive person in the marketplace. Gold increased rapidly when making reasonable earnings, as thou wilt see from the following. He leaves a parable. A farmer, when his first son was born, took 10 pieces of silver to a moneylender and asked him to keep it on rental for his son until he became 20 years of age. This moneylender did and agreed the rental should be 1/4 of its value each 4 years. The farmer asked because the sum he had set aside as belonging to his son that the rental be added to the principal. When the boy had reached the age of 20 years old, the farmer again went to the moneylender to inquire about the silver. The moneylender explained that because the sum had been increased by compound interest, the original 10 pieces of silver had now grown to 30 1/2 pieces. The farmer was well pleased, and because the son did not need the coins, he left them with the moneylender. When the son became 50 years of age, the father, meantime having passed to the other world, the moneylender paid the son in settlement 167 pieces of silver. Thus, in 50 years, had the investment multiplied itself at rental almost 17 times. This, then, is the third cure for a lean purse: to put each coin to work, that it may reproduce its kind, even as the flocks of the field, and help bring to you income, a stream of wealth that shall flow constantly into your purse. Let's read this cure again. This cure means remedy. This cure means medicine for your problem. This cure means solution. Put each coin, put your money to work for you, that it will reproduce itself, even as the flocks of the field reproduce. And it'll help to bring you an income or a stream of wealth that shall flow constantly into your purse. You want to have a money flow that's flowing constantly, a constant flow of income, a constant stream of wealth that's coming in all the time. How many guys know that money never sleeps? This is why when you get into the investing world, as it relates to a lot of these different markets, your money, you could wake up to money. More money in your account today than you did when you went to sleep. This is why we teach e-commerce, because you can wake up to more money than you had. How many, think about it, to wake up in the morning and to have more money in the morning than you did when you went to bed the night before. A constant stream of income. And this is what it does. It puts you in a position where you're not afraid to spend. There's some days I might go out and I might spend $400, $500. And then I feel like I'm a little broke. But I got a constant stream of income that's coming in. And then next thing you know, that's been replenished. Just like that. because it's constantly flowing. I make it available to constantly flow. And even when I'm asleep, it is working because there's people all over the world who are up at different times of the day and they don't sleep when I sleep. And they're not up when I'm up. This is why we teach e-commerce. This is why we teach investing. This is why we are the temple of learning for those that want to come to class. The third cure for a lean purse. The third cure for a broke bank account. The third cure for a hole in your wallet. Put your money to work that it can reproduce itself as the flocks of the field. And it will help you, and it'll help to bring you an income or a stream of wealth that will flow constantly into your wallet. Everybody put in console constantly. That constantly is a good word. And he never stops. Always moving, always working, constantly. Here's another beautiful thing about that, right? Because if we have something that's constantly coming in, typically speaking, we are not constantly spending. Our spending is sporadic. Even if it's $5, $10, our spending is actually sporadic, but we can have an income that is constant. Constantly coming in. Third cure for a lean purse, the richest man in Babylon. Maybe you guys are starting to see why I have been recommending this book for over a decade to people who have a money problem. I ask them all the time when they come to me. They say, I need some help. Well, the first thing I ask, what are you reading? And for people that are, I get it. It's not belittling. It's just saying we just don't know. But whenever you have a problem in some area, it's always good to read up in that area or to study in that area if you want to fix that area. And many of us, for a while, we've had money problems, but yet we've been waiting on someone to provide the education, or we've been waiting on something outside of ourselves to say, you know what, let me at least go read up or find out. Using our own ambition, our own, I wouldn't say our own intuition, but our own ambition or initiative to go out and get, right? And go ahead and get the learning that we need to fix our problem. So, and the thing is, the literature or the information is out there. It's available, and typically it's pretty free. You got Google. You got the library, which is seldom used now. I mean, we're moving beyond. We got digital libraries now, which would be Google, I would say, or Bing or something like that. You got all these applications. You got all these websites. It's just being unaware that, you know what, I could just simply look for an answer to my problem. And I believe this book that we're going through gives a great quality response and a solution to the money problem. A solution to the money problem. So that is our third cure, Rich Man Babylon. We're now complete with the third cure. We'll start the fourth cure tomorrow, which is very, very important. Definitely, if Anthony's able to come on Monday, I definitely want to talk about this because it's talking about guarding your treasure from loss. So after you disciplined yourself to spend less than you earn, after you have now had self-control to then make sure that you don't spend more than your 90%. After you learn how to earn, you learn how to make your money work for you. Now you are building wealth. And now you got to learn how to protect or guard your wealth from loss. We'll talk about that starting tomorrow in The Richest Man of Babylon. In the comments below, I'd like you to share something that you learned today. Something that that made a difference for you. We don't do this just to do this. We do this to make a difference. And that's just what we do. It's the financial education for the nation. Financial education for the nation. I'm simply asking you to answer this question. Was this worth your time and why? Was this worth your time and why? Now, I know I talk much faster than you type, guys, so we give you some time to just share that. And then also for those that might be joining, this is Black Woman Wednesday, so you can share your thoughts as it relates to the Black woman and why you love and appreciate and adore the Black woman. Also today, Wednesday is a very powerful day. It's also our 52-week savings challenge. So if you are following along with us, you've also saved $23 this week. And I'll do it off camera, but $23 is what we saved today to bring us to a total of $276, I believe, for the year. All right, we started with week 1. We're now in week 23. Each week, according to the week, we put money into our savings container, and we should now have at least $276 saved for the year. And so that's part of fixing the money problem. Tonight in the BBC, or the Black Billionaires Club, for those that are members, and some still have not joined for whatever reason, but we're still here. We will have our investment education night tonight. We will have a special guest on for us here tonight as well. A sister that's in the group that has some things I believe that we could help to push and help to help us in the health department because our health is greater than our wealth. Then we'll also talk about this article here as we have, bikes flying off the shelf and things that we'll have to have a conversation, see if it's something we want to dive into together, or if we want to dive into it together. So that's what we'll do. Let's catch up on these comments, man, and we'll begin to close out today's episode. I'll give grand ride to you, King Antoine, Mr. Antoine Lowry, out here doing this thing, man, with real estate and everything's going on in South Kakalaki, South Carolina. Fantastic, man. Constantly flowing in, constant flow of money into your bank account. So much so that your cup will be running over. Your cup will be running over. You'll have abundance. An abundance. Have an abundance. It's always great learning and understanding on the Money and Power Show. Appreciate you. Great Ryan Scott is in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining. Vivian Reed, man, the broadcast, everything's changing lives and raising hope. Yes, here's the thing, man. That's why I do what I do, man, because at the end of the day, I just want to show people that you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it, right? This is something that we're doing now on a consistent basis, daily basis, raising our mental aptitude, raising our mental attitude, and then going to raise our financial results. That's just what it is. I learned I need to start coming to class on the time because this is one of my favorite books. Absolutely. It's a classic. 1926, almost 100 years. 1926, yeah, 1926, almost 100 years old. Anyway, man, this is the Money and Power Show. I'm your host, ERGJ, and I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village, and it starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. United we bargain, divided we beg. It's time to get up, to get out, and go get something. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We'll see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.